The Quebec ban on religious symbols was enacted by Bill 21, an act respecting the laicity of the state. Since it was passed, new hires among public workers in positions of coercive authority have been banned from wearing religious symbols. It also mandates having one's face uncovered to give or receive specific public services. The first section of the Act respecting laicity of the state asserts that Quebec is a lay state. The laicity of the state is based on 4 principles. According to the second paragraph of Section 4, state laicity also requires that all persons have the right to lay parliamentary, government and judicial institutions, and to lay public services. The Quebec ban on face covering made world headlines in October 2017. The bill was passed on October 18, 2017. The ban prevented a person whose face is covered from delivering or receiving a public service. Justice Minister Stephanie Valley stated that people could seek religious exemption on a case-by-case basis. The ban has worried some conservative Muslims who consider face covering a necessary part of their religion and have defined the move as Islamophobia. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau spoke out against it. Several scholars have also criticized the ban. The ban was challenged by the Canadian Civil Liberties Association and the National Council of Canadian Muslims in the Quebec Superior Court. Meanwhile, the Parti Québécois and the Coalition Avenir Quebec argued the ban was not extensive enough. Some journalists accused Quebec's then Premier Philippe Couillard of supporting the ban for perceived political advantage, while a majority of the general public expressed their support for this move. With regards to public opinion, an October 27 Ipsos poll found that 76% of Quebecers backed Bill 62, with 24% opposing it. The same survey found that 68% of Canadians in general supported a law similar to Bill 62 in their part of Canada. An October 27 Angus Reid Institute poll found that 70% Canadians outside of Quebec supported legislation similar to Bill 62, where they lived in the country, with 30% opposing it. However, a judge made the decision that the face covering ban cannot be applicable while analysis by another court, because of irreversible injury it may cause some women of the Muslim faith. Twice since December 2017 a Quebec judge granted an injunction on that section questioned in court by the National Council of Canadian Muslims with the participation of the Canadian Civil Liberties Association. In the judgment of the court, said section contravenes the freedoms guaranteed by the Quebec and the Canadian Charters of Human Rights and Freedoms. The Quebec Liberal Party government confirmed that it would not appeal that suspension of the key article of its Religious Neutrality Act. The government of Quebec preferred to wait for a judgment on the substance and constitutionality of the law. If the Quebec Liberal Party government had been re-elected in the general election on October 1, 2018, Premier Philippe Couillard said he would be ready to go to the Supreme Court of Canada, if necessary, to defend Bill 62. From his previous comments on the matter, Couillard was not likely to preserve the face covering ban by invoking the notwithstanding clause of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Couillard stated that his government, in passing Bill 62, did not use the notwithstanding clause by design, saying that the Supreme Court would probably uphold his government's limited ban as reasonable and justified. As promised during the 2018 election campaign, the CAQ government tabled Bill 21 on March 28, 2019, entitled, An Act Respecting the Laicity of the State. The bill, since made law, bans public workers in positions of authority from wearing religious symbols, specifically while they are on duty. According to the text of the bill, the laicity of the state is defined by a neutral religious stance, keeping state and religious affairs apart, as well as promoting equality and freedom of conscience and religion among citizens. Immigration Minister Simon Jolin Barrett said all religious symbols, regardless of the size of the object, would be prohibited, but not religious tattoos or hairstyles such as Rastafarian dreadlocks. The law affects a grandfather clause exempts some public workers as long as they continue to hold the same job at the same institution. The law also details rules that require people to uncover their faces to receive a public service. for identification or security purposes, such as taking public transit with a reduced fare photo ID card. However, people who have their faces covered for medical reasons or to do their jobs are exempt from these rules. The previous Liberal government passed a similar law banning veils that cover the face, but the relevant sections remain suspended following a court challenge by civil liberties groups. Before that legislation, the party Quebec proposed a law banning the dust pull.